Hi friends, it's Amy at Doki Forest, and today I would like to share with you my journal pages I created for the Inspired to Create Journal Prompt Challenge for May 3rd. And this is a journal prompt challenge hosted by Allison at AJ's Inspired Life and Melissa at Messy Missy Creates. And I will have their YouTube channels down below. You can check them out to find out more and see what they've been up to. And also there is a hashtag, which I will flash up on the screen here, and I will also have that down below. And you can go and search that as well and see who's participating and what they are up to. So, May 3rd of this year, the word was FIESTA. Because, of course, we had Cinco de Mayo coming up that week. There is a new word out for this week, so I'm going to be working on that next. But for now, we will stay on the May 3rd prompt. So the word was fiesta. So that is super fun. So what you do is you take the word and then you come up with a prompt for each letter of the word. And then you can exchange them with someone else, with a friend or a loved one. You can have someone just come up with prompts for you. You can use the prompts that Melissa and Allison are using on their channels. Feel free to use any of the prompts that I'm using. I would love to. And if you do, let me know so I can see what you come up with. So for me, I exchanged them with my friend Chrissy, as we've been doing. And she gave me, for F, she gave me fire. For I, she gave me ice. For E, she gave me ember. S was starfish. T was trident. And A was actor. So, what the heck does a mermaid have to do with any of that? Well, you can see she has her trident. But what is she looking at? What is she doing? We will discover that as we go. But for now, I have my mermaid sketched out. Now we are on to the next character. And the mermaid, I will just let you know, is sort of my ice kind of character. And this, well, this is going to go through some changes here. This is my fire character. So I am trying to sketch out this character, and he is just down on one knee, perhaps proposing. And at first I was going to draw him a little more realistic looking, but then I changed it up and just went with a more cartoony. I mean, honestly, my realistic is still cartoony, let's be honest. I really don't do realistic, but yeah, I just changed the face a lot, and then I am making the body. And he is holding it's like a jewelry box, but it's actually more like a treasure box, and it has a starfish inside. So he is presenting this starfish, and he's down on one knee. So seems pretty romantic, right? Except that the mermaid doesn't seem like she's even looking at him. And she's actually pointing her trident towards him. So that doesn't seem particularly friendly, does it? But why doesn't she like that guy? She's not even looking at him. She won't even give him the time of day. What is going on there? For now, we will just ink. I like to do my pencil first, then ink. Then once it dries, of course, we can get to the painting part. And these are just watercolors. I'm going between just regular watercolors and then the shimmer watercolors, because I wanted to give her a color palette that said, underwater, of course, but also ice. So she can go all the way down to the very depths of the ocean where it is really cold. And she can also come above, and you know how a lot of times you'll see paintings and pictures and stories of mermaids, and they're perched on rocks. They're hanging out on rocks and maybe singing or just hanging out. Or if they're in the Little Mermaid, maybe they're just combing their hair. But this one can go out and sit on blocks of ice, or glaciers or chunks of ice. So she loves the cold. So I wanted her to be an ice mermaid. And I'm going with mostly purples, blues, a little bit of green here and there. Just colors that say, that she is from the sea. And I wanted to give her scales on her skin. Now I'm switching it up, though. We're going from the depths of the sea, the cold of the ocean, and glaciers and ice. And now we're getting hot and steamy with this naked guy. Oh my gosh, it's a good thing he's got some fire to cover some stuff up. It could be getting pretty dangerous there. But but yes, this is a fire man, a man of fire. A torch, maybe? Is he carrying a torch? Is he a human torch? A lot of questions here. But for now, let's get this guy burning hot. And I don't mean in the looks department. I mean let's give this guy some fire. So I'm starting with yellow. Oh, actually, and I didn't mention, I am using some of the what do you call them? Dr. Martin's India inks. So the yellow that I'm using and some of the red I'm using, I'm kind of using a combo of both watercolor and those inks because the inks I really like because you can layer on top of them even once it's down. Like with watercolor, you usually start with your lightest color and then go to the darkest color. But with the inks, you don't really have those sort of limitations. You can put down a dark color and then you can put down yellow on top of it. And you can, still see the yellow or, it doesn't activate the layer underneath and blend usually. So, anyway, I just kind of go back and forth. I enjoy both mediums. I use more watercolor, but I really like the ink too. And I did get these an iridescent set of the Dr. Martin's inks, but I like them. But they do seem to clog up in the eyedropper a lot. So that's the only thing. I have had some explosions when I go to squeeze the eyedropper and try to get a few drops out onto my ceramic palette. And it just sort of explodes. Either you get nothing or all of a sudden there's an explosion. Like there was a chunk stuck in there and it pops out. So that's the only thing about the iridescent. I'm kind of maybe I just shouldn't use the eyedropper. I could just dip the brush maybe just right in the bottle. I might do that. So from fire back to ice, we're going back and forth, back and forth. Now that her hair has dried and her body, her tail and stuff, I can go in there and do some more color, some more skin color and stuff like that. And I'm just doing a little bit at a time. And I wanted her to have sort of fin-like ears instead of having regular ears. And her hair has something going on there too, where it looks like there's the strands of hairs. They're not quite tentacles, maybe they are, but it looks almost like a feathery sort of kelp under there or something like that. So these must be mermaid, awesome hair secrets, I think. And let's get her trident powered up. Let's get it colored here. And this is a... it's a pretty sharp trident there. She's not messing around. And here we go back with this guy. So he has a lot of red. I just wanted to add a little yellow. See, I'm adding the yellow ink on top, and it's really nice because it'll just sit on top there, but it does lighten that red. So in spots where I want it to look more orange, I can go ahead and put that ink right on top. And then, I like how that looks. So I'm just lightening that up. He's very shiny. And then once he had a little time to dry, I can go in and start working on the little starfish and the treasure chest and all that kind of stuff. Nope, surprise, I'm actually switching up. Let's go back to the mermaid. Yeah, back and forth as I paint part of one, put it aside to dry, grab the next one. And these are my two big pieces of the illustration. So we have fire, we have ice. We don't have ember yet, but those will be coming. And then starfish, trident, and the A is actor, which will be coming. And I painted these little hearts. I actually wound up not using them. I may cut them out and still use them. I could still put them on the page somewhere. I just didn't, because I felt like they'd be a little bit squished once I was getting these characters on the page, because these characters are big. So I had to do a 2-page spread because there's no way I could fit them on the same page. I guess I tend to draw sort of large characters, especially when they're more humanoid. Like when they're creatures, I can draw smaller, but human kind of characters seem to come out really large when I draw them. I have a hard time drawing them small. But that's okay. I kind of prepped the pages assuming that that would happen. So I got my pages all gessoed, of course, and put that aside so those could dry while I'm doing my character illustrations. And then still have to do the background and things like that. And just adding some detail with the watercolor. I thought I could go in and make it look a little bit scaly here and there if I add some dots. I wanted her to have like fins and scales and all kinds of fun things. So she is really into her book here that she has, or her magazine, or whatever she's looking at there. She's really into it. And she is not into the fiery guy who's coming over. And I am going to tell you that that fiery guy is, in fact, the Human Torch. One of the Fantastic Four. I don't know if anyone here is a Marvel fan, comic book fan, or if you've seen the movies that came out. When did they come out? It was like the early 2000s, right? I think. There were two Fantastic Four movies. Those are the ones I'm thinking of. I haven't seen them in so long, like since they came out. But yes, I'm thinking of the Human Torch from those movies. And that was sort of what influenced my character design here. Because when he goes all out, he's like fully ablaze and sort of looks like this with like yellow eyes and mouth, and then, you know, he's a combo of yellow and red and orange. So that's where I'm taking my inspiration from. So this is the Human Torch. He is my fire guy. And he is in love with this beautiful mermaid. So he's trying to think of what she would like. She would probably like a starfish. I don't know why he thinks that. And you know what? It's a good thing that treasure box he's holding is fireproof. So I don't know what kind of fireproof wood that is made out of, but wow. Well done, because that starfish looks pretty comfortable. So whatever he's in, he's not getting warm and toasty from being held by a man who's a burning man. And that's good, because I don't think the mermaid would like that at all. If the starfish was in danger, I'm pretty sure she wouldn't be cool with that. So I don't think it has anything to do with him having the starfish being the reason that she's not into him. This must be something else. And now that my painting has all dried, this is the last step before I cut these characters out, and that is to add the white gel pen. And I didn't show it, but I actually did go over the characters again with my my black ink pen as well, because I usually ink, and then when I paint, you kind of cover up those ink lines a bit. They get a little bit dull. So I just went over it again to just have them really stand out so you could see them and they don't get lost. Then adding some white detail to the fire here. Let's get this thing blazing. And now we can get to our background. So I didn't want to just paint the background. I wanted to do some sort of a collage. So that way it's more of a mixed media page. I don't want it to be only watercolor. So I thought I would try to have this page represent the fire and the embers. So like the burning embers. The burning ember of his heart and also his surroundings. So I'm just trying to cover up all of that page, and then on the right, we have our ice side. So we have two completely opposite things going on here. And I'm using this origami paper that had a triangular pattern on it that looks like it's like a geometric design, but it does look like, if you look at a crystal, sometimes they have those little triangles if they're memory keepers, or the big ball at Epcot. It looks like that kind of too, with the triangles. So I thought that would be a good icy sort of vibe. And now I'm cutting her fingers very carefully. Yes, because she is looking at the People magazine for the sexiest man alive. Chris Evans. Wow, I agree. I mean, besides my husband, of course. So these are actually the papers that you get, or that I get in my HP Sprocket paper. It's like it's a little mini printer, and I get these little packs of paper, and they always come with this blue card that you put in that goes in with the paper pack, and then it goes through the machine and comes out the other side. So one side has like a barcode on it, and then the flip side has nothing on it. So I sprayed them with fun sprays. You know, the fun sprays, those come from Care, My Take at the Lake, Krabby Crafter, LOL. So much fun. I had my appointment at the Fun Spray Spa this week, and so I was spraying it up. I was spraying these ice blocks. I had some paper. I sprayed myself by accident. It happens. But it was a lot of fun, and I had blue fingers, and that's how you know you're having a good time. And I'll put Care's link down below, because definitely check out the fun sprays. So much fun, and you can make them yourself at home and enjoy them and just have a good time. And as you can see on that right side, I added some modeling paste as well to make it look a little frozen, a little snowy. And then I was drawing with a black Posca pen on the left there at the bottom. I was trying to draw rocks, or embers, but they really didn't show up. They really don't show up at all. So what I thought I would do was, on the flip side of these red pictures, the fire pictures, there was a black background with it's like some kind of space chart or something. So I thought I would rip out some of those black pieces, and then those could be my embers, so we can see them kind of still burning a bit, because it's all red all around them and inside of them too. I didn't draw the red inside them, but just imagine. So those are the embers, and so the Human Torch is perched on the embers. So do you see where I'm going with this? Probably not, but here's the deal. This mermaid is obsessed with Chris Evans, okay? She is looking at this magazine. She is in love with Chris Evans. Little does she know that the Human Torch, who is here proposing to her, who's confessing his love. No, not confessing, professing, right? Well, whatever. He's telling her how into her that he is. And she's not even paying attention, because she just thinks he's some pest. She doesn't even realize the Human Torch is Chris Evans. So that's the whole angle of the story here. And not only is she rejecting him, she is blasting out a stream of ice and snow and cold right at him. So she's giving him the cold shoulder, right? And she's blasting out this freezing, icy cold right at him, putting him right out, right? Because when it hits him, his fire is going to go out, and then he's just going to be like a naked guy standing there, which, if she ever bothers to look at him and sees it's Chris Evans, she might like. But she's too busy reading that magazine. Sometimes you just don't see what's right in front of you, right? You're looking at something else, thinking oh, there's something better out there. If only I had that. If only I, was with this person, or, whatever, those things that we all kind of do, And sometimes we forget to see what's right in front of us. It's oh, actually, I'm good. I've got everything I need right here. I don't need to look beyond. So that's sort of like a little kind of mini message in here, but just enjoy it. You don't need to read into it that much. Just enjoy. And I'm just adding some snowflakes. I just put some acrylic paint on this stamp instead of using the stamp pad because I thought it would come out kind of fun and blobby. And it definitely came out blobby. So here we are. We're all done. We have our Fiesta page. You probably would never know it was Fiesta, but we've got our fire, ice, embers, starfish, trident, actor. Chris Evans, of course. Thank you so much for coming by today. Love when you're here. Love spending time with you. I hope you have a wonderful week, and I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.